Hello, Hacksters, and welcome to May. We had a very cool open hardware summit last Friday on Earth Day itself, and there was a very strong bent towards sustainability. We're going to talk about that a little bit, about how the summit went and all that good stuff. But first, let's open up the swag bag and see what's in there. I actually have a confession to make, which is that I've already seen the contents, and I've seen the contents enough to have dropped the mug on the ground and broken it. But we're going to talk about that as well. So first up, there's this beautiful yellow mug featuring the funny little strange Muppet-like creature that is representing the summit. And it's a beautiful mug. Check out this cute, adorable little monster. And as I mentioned, I dropped it on the ground, but I'm planning to fix it. So a big focus again of this year's talks was sustainability when they were recruiting people to talk and submit ideas. That was the stated purpose of the conference. And so in keeping with that, I'm planning to do some kintsugi repair on this and actually fix the mug. But let's take a closer look at it because it's really cute. Here's the mug. Here's the little monster. Here are the broken pieces that I'm going to stick together. If you're not familiar with the concept of kintsugi, it is a Japanese art of mending things with gold so that the repair becomes visible. This is kind of a very amateur repair that I did on this little bowl that was broken a while back at our house, and not using gold leaf itself, but a sort of gold resin. And I'm planning on doing that in the spirit of sustainability. So right off the bat, we have some sustainable practices. Okay, so let's dig into the rest of the stuff, which I have not managed to break yet. How about that? Here's our large bag. This is beautiful. Let's take a better look at this. There's this gorgeous tote bag that can hold all of your OHS items with this gorgeous sort of mandala theme with resistors and LEDs and things. I would love to know who did the art for this because it is phenomenal. And yeah, sustainable tote bag. You know, there's questions about how often you have to reuse a tote bag in order for it to be truly sustainable, but I foresee myself using this one a lot because it's gorgeous. We also have a box from SparkFun, which is tons of useful stuff. Very classic SparkFun box. Inside, they've got an updated version where you can have links to contact support at SparkFun. A little business card, sticker, classic. And then also what my colleague Jessica has very adorably called centipedes, which are a bunch of headers. So these are snap-off male-to-male right angle headers, or I guess just male right angle headers. These are female headers, which you can't snap off so much. You generally end up sacrificing one of the pins in the process when you cut it off. But that's what those are. They plug together. You can use them to connect PCBs and things like that. Sometimes wires. It's a little easier to push them together when you have a smaller length of it, but very useful for hooking together different pieces of hardware. We also, oh, this is interesting. This might be a quick cable. There's a number of different I2C systems that have come up recently with their own custom connectors. Arduino has the SLOV, there's Seed Grove modules, there's Adafruit's Stemma or Stemma QT system, and then there's also SparkFun's Quick, and I suspect that this may be a Quick connector wire. I think even Tiny Circuits has like a whisker one that they call it. All kinds of different I2C sort of plug and play systems coming up now, and I suspect that's what this is, but I'll have to check. Then we have a bunch of ribbon cables. I love these things because it helps with cable organization. You know, you can just use standard male-to-male or female-to-female or male-to-female breadboard wires, separate ones. But when you're trying to wire two whole things together or, you know, break out a header or something, it really helps to have a little organization via ribbon cables. And so it's female-to-female ones. You can see female ends on both sides, male-to-male, and male-to-female for a beautiful and useful variety. Like, plug them in. You wouldn't actually do this. Well, maybe you would. Who knows? There's no point really, though. So that's SparkFun's contribution. Okay, let's put this on the table. We have some beautiful stickers. Parts list are the bomb. If you're not familiar, BOM stands for Bill of Materials, and so it's an excellent little pun. No patent pending. This is the open source hardware symbol. Uh, Obviously, this is the Open Hardware Summit, so you're going to have a lot of those. It's put on by the Open Source Hardware Association, OSHWA, and we'll take a look at that. They do their own certification system for open hardware, so you can get this little symbol on your boards and stuff, and you can get a little ID number that says, you know, what country you're registering from and what number from that country you are. So if you're from a country that doesn't have a lot of open hardware involvement, you could be number one in your country. Very cool. We have a Tindy sticker, cool marketplace for lots of DIY hardware stuff, and kits and things, beautiful stuff. Fix the world! This is from Ifixit, one of my favorite organizations. And let's just pull this up really quick. We're just going to start talking about the links because I love Ifixit so much. I've been digging into building sustainable hardware, and repairable hardware is a huge part of that. Like I mentioned with the kintsugi, it's just a mug, but you know, hardware can live by the same ethos where, you know, making things last longer, using fewer resources, by not needing to produce as much, not consuming as much, not producing as much, not using as much materials, keeping things out of the landfill. This whole ecosystem, a closed loop, circular economy, all these ideas tie together, and iFixit is an incredible resource for repair guides for so many different pieces of hardware. And there are also various more DIY initiatives and community-led initiatives, lots of local initiatives around repair as well. There's so much cool stuff going on. I pulled up the page for kintsugi in case you want to know how to spell that. It's a really cool way of repairing things. That's what I'm going to do with the mug. Yeah, but Open Hardware Summit, you can find their page online. It's 2022.oshwa.org. OSHWA, again, being the Open Source Hardware Association. You can find the speaker schedule on there, and all the talks from last Friday are now up on the OSHWA YouTube page, so you can watch everything that you missed. I certainly had to go lay down for a while after doing my talk at 7:40 in the morning. And then, you know, they have Discord channels for each talk, which I think are going to close soon. I'll check on that. But it's in the Open Source Hardware Association Discord, and you can see the discussions from there. I gave a talk that you can see here about building a better hardware life cycle. And in that talk, it was basically a way to tell people about this wiki that I'm putting together, which will be migrated to a new home soon, but contains a bunch of resources for if you want to build electronics in a sustainable way. It's just, you know, throughout my research, I've come across a bunch of different tools and resources and organizations, and I've done a bunch of interviews with people who are working on building electronics sustainably, and I've tried to compile all of that into this database, as well as communities that you can join, ideas for projects that you can build if you want to build electronics, but you don't want to make something that's going to be harmful, or you want to build something that's going to help with like the climate crisis or other things. You know, this is basically the idea, and we're going to make it, put it on a different platform, so it'll be more accessible, more community oriented. But for now, this is what a good place to start. Also linked in the description below. Okay, so on the speaker schedule, again, I didn't see everything. There's lots of talks I'd love to go back to, so there's stuff around medical technology. The whole last part apparently was this panel on open hardware and health tech, stuff around COVID-19 and things that we've learned from there, blood smearing technology, which I wasn't aware was really much of a thing. How to design beautiful and practical antennas, how to enable anyone to build their own renewable energy system, all kinds of cool stuff. There were a couple of other ones that I did catch, which include Helen Little's talk on how to recycle all kinds of waste plastic via pellet 3D printing, and also a really in-depth talk on how she tests those materials for different material properties, which I think is a big concern with people who want to use recycled materials in electronics. And also one from Lucas F. Hartman, whom I interviewed a couple weeks ago, actually on Hackster Cafe for his open source laptop, the MNT Reform. Very cool. So there's all kinds of stuff I want to go back to. In particular, I wanted to call out this one that I would like to look up, which is look up the talk for, which is the Open Hardware Observatory. It's a nonprofit association to support open hardware projects, to develop them further, and to distribute them as free knowledge. So blueprints for sustainable technologies. Very, very cool. And you can also check out, last link here before we go on with the unboxing, the sustainability channel on Hackster.io, where we have tons of different projects that are tagged with sustainability, energy efficiency, solar powered electricity, electronics, environmental sensing, data collection for citizen science, all kinds of cool stuff like this. And you can just hit view all to see all the projects that are coming up on there. Look at this nano solar Mars rover. It's a simple little robot from an old Nokia phone vibration motor. I love this. Anyway, all kinds of cool stuff. And the wiki includes information for everyone from complete, beginners, people who want to build stuff from salvage things around their house or whatever, all the way to manufacturing and mass production of sustainably produced electronic devices, including this interview with Christina Sear, who built the Circle phone, and I talked to her on Hackster Cafe a couple of years ago. So all kinds of good stuff there. Let's get back to the cool stuff in the bag. So that was Ifixit and a bunch of other stuff. Very cool organization. What else have we got here? Woo! A Seed Studio mask. Says go away. I love it. This is very it matches my aesthetic a lot. My aesthetic is very go away when it comes to introversion anyway. And when you're napping. It's very cute. It's designed like an ultrasonic sensor, it looks like, for sensing distance, hence the go away. That's so cute! I've actually forgotten a lot of what's in here because I looked at it last week. So it's going to be a surprise for me too. Oh, Alpenglow Industries makes all these really cute soldering kits. Very, very beautiful things. And they have put in this PCB ruler to add to my collection of PCB rulers. Look at that. A bit low contrast, but the teal printing does show up pretty well, actually. Let's focus it on here because that's really cool. There we go. You've got different sizes of SMD components. My favorite is 1206 because they're very compact but still easy to solder by hand. All kinds of cool stuff. And then centimeters on this side. I like the font as well. That's very nice. And then you've got inches on this side, up to 6 inches. For the love of SOD. What's this? These are rough equivalents. Always check the data sheet. Absolutely, yeah. Anode, cathode of a diode. Super cool. Refocusing. So they have a sticker and stuff too. For the love of SOD. We hope this ruler helps you create more cool circuit boards. They've got all these QR codes and stuff. Very good. And examples of their different projects that they have. I have to show you a couple of my other favorite PCB rulers real quick. Maybe just one of them, because I'm dropping everything everywhere. But this is a really cool one from Evil Mad Scientist that I love. It's very compact and has markings on both sides of the ruler so that you can easily tell if you're like measuring along the edge of something that you have it straight. So good. Anyway, PCB rulers, totally my jam. We have a Hackster.io sticker. Who are those cool guys? Oshpark stickers, classic. They give these out with each order. You'll always get an Oshpark sticker in your order. This seems to feature the James Webb Telescope array of mirrors. And it's kind of holographic. Gorgeous. This is just one of those cute graphics from the Oshawa branding. PulseSensor.com. These folks make a little ECG or EKG pulse sensor, so that you can tell your heartbeat to your projects and make things respond to that. They've been going for a long time, and they've got tutorials for how to use them with microbits, Arduinos, everything. It's just a very cute, basic little component, and they do it very well. Hackday, cool gold logo. What's this? This is supply frame. You've got a little what do you call these? Oh my gosh, a little box, tackle box full of stuff. Not sure what this guy is. Maybe someone in the comments can enlighten me. Or this. Are these just projects that are on supply frame? Well, this is a robot arm. And then they've got the little Hackaday logo on them too. Cute. I love the colors. Oh, this is pretty cool. Digikey has given out an innovation handbook. So it's a notebook with gridded pages with spots to put your project name and the date and the project page number and notes. So if you're working on multiple projects here, you can be like, this is page number 5 of this project, and go and find the other ones. So there's also, and they're numbered pages too, so you can tell where each thing is. Sometimes that's useful in patents. You have to reference what page number and stuff. Really cool stuff in here. There's like references with pinouts for different boards. Raspberry Pi Pico, Teensy, Raspberry Pi, Feather, all these different standards. This is so cool! I have a million little cards sitting around on my desk with different pinouts, so this will be really helpful. Community-based boards, prototyping information, community-based boards again, IoT communication modules. What's this? Wire ampacity overview. Common IC pinouts. Cool. 555 timer, one of my faves. A classic. They have that at Tiny 85 on here. AT Tiny chips are so good. Don't see it, but that's fine. Digikey loves to give out PCB rulers as well, and they have a diagram of theirs. Haha. Oh! Which actually tells you what it does. Nice. Anyway, pretty cool thing. Lots of reference info, formulas, laws, and equations. And ideally, they'd have an index page where you can write down what projects are on which pages, but maybe you'll just have to make page 1 or page 41 be that index. Cool! Love a good notebook. Too much, honestly. Oh, this is cool. This is a privacy-focused device, privacy-enhancing device. I tried to say both of those at the same time. It's a little slide cover for your webcam. Show you how it works. Whoop. So you stick this onto your device. Oh, it's a little magnetic one. Cute. You adhere the magnet onto your computer or whatever above the or near the webcam, and then you're able to slide it around. I'm not demonstrating this well because I haven't used this specific type before, but you would mount it, so that this is either over your webcam or the closed part is over your webcam. And I've got one actually from a different event, I think from Nordic actually, on my computer, so you can just slide it over and goodbye. It's a good privacy focused measure to basically not, instead of putting a piece of tape over your camera, if you want to make sure that you're physically blocking anyone from hacking into your device and activating your camera and using it for nefarious purposes, instead you can put one of these little sliding covers on, and it's very slick. This one looks nice and very low profile, which is nice. Sometimes there's dangers, specifically with really thin Mac laptops, of if you put something physical over your camera, it can make the screen shatter if it's very thick, and then you close the computer hard. So it's nice that it's very thin. You gotta be careful with that stuff. Let's keep going. Oh, yes, at Tiny 13 is a cool one. There's the whole at Tiny series, which are these little 8-pin chips that make it really easy to fit Arduino coded projects inside of a small footprint, and they're very affordable and things like that. Of course, buying at Tiny chips right now, along with everything else, is kind of difficult. So but when you have access to them, it's a really great way to help miniaturize your Arduino projects and make them lower cost. It's pretty cool. Pardon me. Let's see. Interesting stuff going on in the LinkedIn comments. Huh. All right. So, onward. And thank you all for joining me. It's a Sunday morning here, and it's a beautiful way to relax. We have a cool little post-it. Ooh, official post-its from ShopBot, CNC routing tools. Very cool. They make huge CNC routers with like vacuum tables and stuff, so you don't have to anchor stuff down. Back in the day when tech shop was more of a thing, I loved watching the ShopBots work. They have like 4x8 foot ones, just huge CNC machines, but also they can do really fine detail work, which is lovely. Lulzbot, open source 3D printer, very cool. I've been advised that one of the first things you can do with a Lulzbot is print replacement parts for it, because you never know if you're going to have to replace stuff, but the fact that you can 3D print replacement parts for it on itself, very cool. This is cute. I don't know what this is one that I should know, but I don't. Has this little clover leaf emblem, and I think they also gave us one of these little magnets. Does it have any information on here? Camaloon.com? Let's see if that's the brand of the magnet maker or the brand of the company. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Because I know that they've sponsored before, because I already have one of those. No, okay, so Camaloon is the name of the magnet maker. We're going to find this out. I'm going to go to the Open Hardware Summit page and find all the sponsors so that we can solve this mystery once and for all. Sponsor. Okay, so along the right side here, we've got sponsored listed. Blue Clover. Who are you? Who are you, Blue Clover? Better devices, better planet. Oh, this is cool. Automated test equipment is ready for a refresh. I won't dispute that. Ha, cool. I'm curious about this better hardware for Earth situation. What does that mean? This is really cool! I'll have to put this in the wiki. Non-toxic stuff, RoHS, things being durable and repairable. Love it. Recyclable. Recyclable is an interesting one. A lot of companies I see out there will be like, it's 100% recyclable packaging, but that doesn't necessarily means that it's recycled. So optimally, you'll be working with stuff that is 100% recycled and recyclable when it comes to stuff like paper pulp recycled packaging for your products and stuff. And there's links for that in the wiki. This is really cool. Secure. Yeah, again, camera covers, very good. Supported, that's an important one. And updatable and user-friendly. Things being supported, open source is part of that. You can't rely 100% on open source is not just a way to get out of support free. It doesn't mean that you can just like start a forum and ignore your users and be like, it's open source, you can fix it. You can do that. Everyone has their own little different levels of energy, but if you're an actual company, you should have support. But also, open source can help with that. Open sourcing your hardware can mean that when people run across problems with it, or have ideas for how to improve it, or different repairs that they've done, or modules that they've created to expand upon your product, can actually improve your market share, because people are able to modify it to suit their own needs, and it can create more publicity for your project. Open source is it's great for additional support when users are supporting other users, but it's also great for all these other reasons. Open source, yay! So more things. This is a very comprehensive swag bag. Oh yes, and I think this is the last thing in here actually. An Ifixit Minnow precision bit set with a screwdriver. And this is the one piece that I have promised to give back to my colleague, Jessica. but that is fine because it is an adorable. Look at this! Ah, these are so cool for various reasons. Okay, so A, it's a really cute, compact little screwdriver kit, and B, it magnets closed. Very durable, I think, in that way. C, it's got a little tray, so when you're fixing something, you can put the little screws and organize all the little pieces and parts in their proper order. D, it can go together like that as a magnet, also very cool. And that might be all the cool things about it. I don't know. It's a very ergonomic design as well. I find that these screwdrivers are really pleasing to work with. And the reason that I'm not sad to give this one back, it's so cute. It's a very compact little kit, actually. Actually, you know what? It would be really cool to have one of these. And I will eventually, because I eventually realized I had to sign up and register for the conference, even though I was a speaker, in order to get a swag bag. So we'll get one later. But very cool, compact size. You can go on Ifixit and check out all their tutorials. But they also have, boom, mega screwdriver kits with all kinds of different attachments and stuff. So this is my personal kit that I got on a Black Friday sale last November, and it's got so much cool stuff for doing almost any kind of repair that you can imagine. So if you get really excited about that little kit that they have and the ergonomics and stuff of it, which you should, you can also upgrade and get these, and it'll help you fix all kinds of stuff. This one has a nice little metal handle and stuff. You can also wait until Black Friday and buy something that doesn't suck. If you're going to be contributing to consumerism, then you might as well do it with a repair kit. And that's what I did last year. I think it's great. Ifixit has all these cool screwdriver kits. This is kind of like an entry point if you want to start getting proficient with repairing things. And I also have to show off this ancient one that I got in like 2012 or 2013 when I was part of a startup and went to the demo conference and helped Ifixit out by using their instructions on the Digikey app to fix or to replace some RAM in a laptop on stage, and it's got their old school logo. Anyway, very cool. Love screwdriver kits. I think this is honestly a really, really cool thing for them to throw into the Open Hardware Summit tote bag. And seriously, this is a really nice thing. I love everything about Ifixit, and you should totally take full advantage of your screwdrivers, but also go to their site and learn how to fix your stuff because it's so good. All right. That concludes my extremely impartial and unbiased unboxing of this stuff from the Open Hard Summit swag bag this year. It's a gorgeous bag. Thank you so much, Open Hardware Summit, for sending us this stuff. It's beautiful, and I think that there's always a trade-off between if you want to put more stuff into the world, but this is stuff that will help you learn how to build your own stuff, learn how to open source your own things, celebrate open source, and repair your own stuff. So I think that's fantastic. Supporting small creators on Tindy and things like that, getting rest with your sleep mask, all good stuff. And thank you to Jessica for lending me her swag bag before mine arrives, and I'll be replacing her mug. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Yeah, I hope you have an awesome rest of the weekend or whatever time it is when you watch this, and love the open source community. Hack on.